from beautiful South Florida, there's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. The excitement brewing here in South Florida. As a moment ago, the Dolphins starters were introduced to this home crowd. They're fired up as well as they get set to match up with the Los Angeles Chargers. It's a rematch of one of the great NFL playoff games of all time. The Chargers and Dolphins underway from Miami. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. First down gets him a couple up to the 27.
So this game of ours, Charles, the talk of the NFL world all week. Two unbeaten teams. You rarely see such a matchup this deep into a season.
I would agree with that because normally you might get one team undefeated for a while, but two teams like this, and I remember in preseason you looked at schedules and said, I think these two are on a collision course. It'd be interesting to see if they actually get there, and they did. And to me, the winner of this game has to wear the crown of Super Bowl favorite.
Got an open man. It's Michael Gallup. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big gain that time for the Chargers.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one. And there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now it's Herbert. Flushed out right.
He'll let one go deep for Howard.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
On 2nd down, Eckler. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11. Shotgun snap for Herbert. Eluding the pressure right. Throwing right, and that's complete. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Little glimpse of his athleticism there and what they're going to have to deal with. He can use his legs to dance around back behind the line of scrimmage and beyond the line of scrimmage.
And wouldn't you love to get a copy of their defensive scouting report going into the week? Because that's been stressed the whole time. Keep him bottled up. Keep him in the pocket. But it's the first drive of the game and emotions are running high. Someone forgot that, trying to make a big play and gave up a bigger one instead.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Play action. It's Herbert. And he's going to go down here. A sack. They push him back to the 34. Romeo Okwara. He's the one that got home and takes him down for a loss of 9. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Back to throw here, Herbert. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 and a Dolphins touchdown. third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 7-0. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Able to fight through one tackle. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to him.
On first down, it's Herbert. Out to the left there and complete to Howard. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete. We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
Herbert on first down now. That's complete to Austin Eckler, the running back. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll bring up a second down. Herbert will give this one to Eckler. And a short gain down to about the 33. 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1 yard pickup there on second.
This defense for the Dolphins, they were terrific last week in the victory over Buffalo.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one. I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick six just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
Running on first down, Eckler. He's to the 10, and he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Seemed like a couple sets of eyes were on the quarterback, so he decided, hey, I'm going to hand this off. Got a good gain out of it.
And you know you need good blocking up front in order to gain yardage, but every one of these RPOs, if you do it right and they look the same, whether it's handed off inside or the quarterback keeps it, that allows you to fool the defense so often. And in this case, fooled them with the inside run.
And this heads straight to the sideline. I don't think they're going to let him get away with that. Nope, they won't. Here comes the flag. In the pocket, chucked it away. Flag comes down.
So you got to move a little bit, right? Know where you are on the field. Have some awareness. Tackle to tackle. You got to get outside of that tackle box in order to get that done.
Here's Herbert now on second down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 7-0 on EA Sports. And the first play will be a field goal try. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. 2 in. The Dolphins now with a 1st and 10
at the 31-yard line. They'll start the drive with Harris, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 15-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Chargers will be backed up deep to begin their drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Charger drive about to get going.
And they, as mentioned, unbeaten to this point in the year, but you think this game their toughest test yet.
I absolutely do, because to me, this is a good measuring stick game because they've been able to take advantage of the schedule. But here, this is another team leading its division with an eye on making a Super Bowl run, so this game is crucial.
40 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Going on the ground with Eckler. Able to shake free for about 7 up to the 35.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Play action this time for Justin Herbert. He'll buy some time right. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down. The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line, ready for their next drive. And this ball game, clearly the game of the year so far. It's not very often that you find 2 unbeaten teams playing each other this late in the season, but that's what we have here, 2 heavyweights in the NFL.
You're right about that, and you think about recent memories, so let's take a little ginkgo right now and go down memory lane, right? 2007, 7-0 Colts, 8-0 Patriots. The Pats won 24-20. They end up going 16-0.
Now, loose football. The ball comes out and picked up by the Chargers. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. These defenses have become so opportunistic, and no matter what you're playing, in this case wide receiver, you got to be careful.
Certainly do, because there is a phrase in today's football that we use all the time, completing the process of the catch. Well, it's after you do that where the trouble begins, right? Meaning you've tucked it away, you're trying to get downfield, but someone's always coming up trying to rake at the ball and knock it free.
Steps away to his left. And he finds Howard complete. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a 1st and goal.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway, because that's your strength.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. Touchdown! Michael Gallup, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers have taken the lead. Now for the point after. And it's through, and that makes the lead 10-7. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. Tua going to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Jalen Waddle with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is now 14-10. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. From a yard or 2 deep. And all deep in his own territory. He coughs up the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. But that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit, or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score.
Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And there, of course, was a lot of talk about this ball game coming into play. 2 division leaders in the AFC. Could this be a potential playoff preview down the line?
Yeah, and I think when you're talking about the talk about this game coming into play, you're talking about me because I blew up your phone all week prior to this one. I was so excited about this game because, to me, it's not out of the realm of possibility that these two teams see each other again down the road. I like this matchup. They match up very well against each other.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now, we'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Dancing to his left. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked up by Noah Igbenogany. And the Dolphins are in great shape here as they take over at their 46-yard line. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he'll go down right on the edge of the red zone following a pickup of about 7 or 8. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Harris going to get it again on second down. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10.
Got his man complete over the middle. That's Harris.
And the Dolphins are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets its offense.
And this is caught by Parker for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead.
They have really had their way so far in the first half, but they wanted to continue to build on their lead. They know that no lead is safe in this league, so they decided to try their best to get one more as they headed into the half, and they got it done.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And the lead is up to 18 now. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27.
The Charger drive about to get going.
And with a 3-score deficit staring him in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
And an anxious moment or two there, but they do get him down. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. On first down, Justin Herbert.
And that's into the hands of Eckler.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On 1st and 10, Herbert. That'll be incomplete as the clock will stop with 14 seconds remaining.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
2nd and 10.
Herbert. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. It's Quentin Dunbar with a pick. And a potential turning point as he'll get the football in very good field position late in this first half. After the turnover, it's Tua. He's letting this one go for Fuller. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked away and incomplete. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive.
And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Harris. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
On first down, it's Harris. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47.
43 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Now they'll throw with Tagovailoa. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Going to the air, Tagovailoa. Over the middle, he's got Gesicki, the big 6'5" tight end. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Off a play action. Tagovailoa under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Joey Bosa has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And that is no good. He gave it a good run. That wasn't more than a foot or so wide to the left. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
The Charger drive about to get going. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4's kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do.
Eckler going to get it again on 2nd down.
And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. 3rd quarter on a Monday night with a 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's Herbert. Being chased out left. He'll fire this one deep for Eckler. And this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Here's Herbert. He's going to go up top again. Touchdown, Chargers. Trey McKinney, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are able to close the gap just a bit. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll make this now an 11-point deficit.
Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Their lead down to 2 scores after the touchdown a moment ago as they start with a 1st and 10. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Tua sets up to pass it. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Michael Davis. And the return here is stopped at the 35-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, Where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
And he'll be taken down at the 34. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Herbert now. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
He's going to find Gallup here complete. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people have to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. 1 quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Justin Herbert looking to pass. Buying time to his left. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. And they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pinned. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Chargers have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because give up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Well, now Harris lost it. It's a fumble. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble. Even though he recovered his own fumble, you know how much he hates to put the ball on the ground. He's going to be frustrated with himself.
And what do you think the time frame was from the time the ball escaped his grasp to him getting it back? It didn't take that long, right?
Right.
To him, it probably felt like hours because he's agonizing, like, I've got to get this football back. Able to get it done.
Tua now on first down. This will be caught. It's Waddle. And he's brought down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary. Figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
He's letting this one go for Fuller. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Will Fuller with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. They started on the ground with Eckler. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Back to throw. Herbert. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? On first down, Herbert. Flush to his right. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
I think that was good strategy there, trying to go right back to him after the last completion. But this time, the defense was all over him, and they got there to break that one up.
Here's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Herbert. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
Going to throw on 3rd down with Herbert. Forced out to his left. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified. Big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Meanwhile, Herbert's throw into the hands of his receiver, Guyton. Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. O.J. Howard, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are able to make this a close game again. And now remember, all touchdowns are reviewed. And in a tight game like this, they're going to take a good long look at it. So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Now following the touchdown, Hoff-Richter to kick off. Noah Igbenogany from his end zone. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a pretty slick return there. Almost got it to the 45. Officially, they'll call him down at the 44.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams, special teams, special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit, and you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
They'll run on first down. Harris, and he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. There's Fuller for a Dolphin touchdown. Will Fuller with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Sanders now to add the extra point. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Charger drive about to get going. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know that makes some adjustments.
And this is going to fall to the ground, incomplete. That very nearly their 4th pick of the game. Instead, 2nd down. On 2nd and 10, Herbert. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
He's going to loft this one, deep left sideline. And unable to connect, incomplete. I'll give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
And Allen's got it. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So it's Charger football as we welcome you back from the 2-minute warning. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Escaping the pressure right. He'll fire this deep for Gallup, and it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively, and it'll bring up 2nd down. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Herbert to throw. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you,
but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game. That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that one an absolute backbreaker. A chance to get back within a score. Couldn't do it.
Yeah, that one went begging, as they say, right? There's the opportunity, and it was missed. But all hope's not lost just yet. But, boy, getting back within one score would have been a powerful motivator for their defense to take the field with.
First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And a few kneel downs should come very close to finishing this one off, depending on whether or not we see any defensive timeouts. They still have 2, but using them would just be prolonging what's really already been decided. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 109 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. They run with Harris. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. So they come up on 2nd down. If they can get another run like we just saw, would likely put an end to this thing. On the handoff, it's Gaskin fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
To throw is Tua. Got a man, it's Waddle, complete. And he is going to have the Dolphins first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, Charles, it's one thing